We wear the KO, because your boy is back from knocking out shit all over the place on tour, man. Next up on a real rush, Irie. What's happening, y'all? It's your boy J-Dub up here on the Real Rush. Thanks to y'all for tuning back in here to episode 6, right here on YouTube. As I mentioned during the intro, I did go on a little bit of a tour. Hence why this episode is coming out a little late. My bad for the delay. Lay it out for y'all. Last Wednesday, went to the Angelica. Tuesday, went to the Cinemark in Centerville, followed by the Airbus IMAX that I almost got locked into afterwards. That was pretty fucking scary. Then Friday, went to Potomac Mills to finish out the movies for the weekend, so that way I could enjoy myself Saturday. Went down to the Northern Neck region of Virginia, met up with some old school fraternity brothers, having myself a good time. Got away from the Northern Virginia atmosphere for a minute. That was nice. Tuned out of social media for quite a minute too. That was even nicer. Then yesterday, went myself on out to Mid-Fauquier County, do a podcast with my boy Mason and Friends. Episodes 238 and 239 now up. You can find the links in my caption. Your boy did a guest spot on both of those. So like I said, now I'm back here, Dub Chamber, Monday night, filming this episode, number 6, for you. So your boy just went on tour. Your boy is relaxed. And your boy is ready to get down the brass tacks. Now, as I mentioned last week, one of the movies that I was going to be reviewing this week was the new Susan Sarandon joint, Viber Club. Now, unfortunately, this one got pulled from the schedule for some reason. However, it did mention that after its limited release period of like 2 or 3 weeks, it would then be streaming on YouTube Premium. So whether or not that's still the case or not, I'm not sure. So hopefully, I'm hoping that I do at least still get to see this one in the theater. So A, it can still be a Real Rush entry, and B, that way I can provide the review for y'all before it comes to YouTube, paid YouTube, in a couple weeks. Right now, you get to watch this on free YouTube. So start subscribing now before someday I do get hot and finally hit myself YouTube Premium worthy, and then, you know, ain't nobody grandfathered in, then who knows how much you're going to have to pay to see this quality stuff in a couple years. Quality. Yet I digress. Let's get down to what we did see. So let's go back. Thursday night, we kicked things off at the Cinemark Centerville with Disney's new adaptation of the Nutcracker ballet, and the movie is called The Nutcracker and the Four Realms. This stars Mackenzie Foy as a girl named Clara who receives this really nice but locked Fabergé egg as a Christmas gift from her deceased mother, who's behind the grave and shit. And she must venture into the Christmas tree forest to retrieve the key from the deep, the dark, the sullen fourth realm to unlock said beautiful Fabergé egg, and at the same time save the other 3 realms from the deep, the dark, sullen fourth realm. And my explanation there, folks, is just about as coherent as it gets. It's almost as if like Mickey Mouse and the crew got together and did some acid and say, hey, let's do an adaptation of the Nutcracker and make it like this. Now that being said, it's not terrible. I expected better from Disney though. You got Keira Knightley, you got Helen Mirren, you got Morgan Freeman sporting some kicking dreadlocks and an eye patch, man. So the cast is there, but it was missing something. Almost like it was missing that holiday spark. Which is a shame because Disney's usually all over stuff like that. Some good points to make about the movie, however. It had a very reminiscent style of Fantasia. Both in the live action and the CGI interweaving of it. It did have some freaky dark moments, like when the Mouse King came together and when the Nutcracker army headed into the fourth realm to possibly do some battle, but definitely to retrieve that key. That's not giving away anything because I kind of already said that before. So those moments did make my skin crawl just a little bit. The kids may get this one just a little bit more, but I'm kind of on the fence on saying whether or not this will be a good family movie. It's mindless, so you can take that for what it's worth. I'm not sure if the mindless part is a good thing or a bad thing. It did get an ovation from 6 of the 12 people in attendance in the audience that I was with when I saw it on Thursday evening. I was one of the 12 people in attendance. I was not one of the people that was given it an ovation. So that being said, see the Nutcracker in the Four Realms at your own risk. And if you do happen to see it, I would say see it during the matinee times. Nutcracker in the Four Realms, ladies and gents. Next up on the Real Rush ticket, the highly anticipated, at least I've been looking forward to this one for years, plural, Bohemian Rhapsody. And for those that don't know, this is about the story of the legendary band Queen from their creation up to their performance at Live Aid 1985 Wembley Stadium. And much of the movie is on the focus of the life of Freddie Mercury, played by Rami Malek from Mr. Robot. The story is right there. If you know the story, then you know the story. If you don't know the story, then you don't know the story. Both ways. Everybody needs to see this movie. It's not getting the best reviews all over. Rami Malek is getting much praise, however, for his portrayal of Freddie Mercury. I share in that praise because I'm making Rami Malek my first official pick for Best Actor consideration for this awards season for his portrayal of Freddie Mercury. Now, with the movie as a whole, I'm going above the reviewers on this one. It's my pick of the week. I absolutely love this movie, and it's a possible top 10 Real Rush contender for the best 10 movies of 2K18 so far, like we already said. But it's worth saying again, Rami Malek, first official Real Rush Best Actor consideration pick. I could definitely also see this one getting some best makeup attention as well. There was a nice touch with adding Mike Myers to the cast. And there's even a well-worthy Wayne's World Easter egg. You have to keep your ears open for that as well. I saw this in IMAX. Word around the campfire is this is only playing in IMAX for 7 days, so the fact that it came out on Thursday, today's Monday, by the time y'all see this it'll be Tuesday, so that'll give y'all about 3 days of seeing this possibly only in IMAX. So keep your eyes open for where it's playing. You definitely want to see this in the best high quality possible, high quality cinematic silver screen. But if you can't see it in IMAX or whatever, hell, just as long as you see it in some type of theater, okay? I was about to say see it any way possible, but no. Don't stream movies or do anything like that. It takes away from the box office and all the hard work to be put in, so we can put our asses in the theater seats to watch these joints, see it in the theater as soon as possible. Bohemian Rhapsody, ladies and gentlemen. Real Rush, pick of the week. But that doesn't mean that we end there. We got 2 more movies on the Real Rush ticket. Now, Bohemian Rhapsody was IMAX. We moving on to Friday's double feature, AMC Potomac Mills. We kick things off with a new Tyler Perry joint, Nobody's Fool. This stars Tiffany Haddish as a recently released ex-convict who helps her sister, played by Tika Sumpter, find the man who might be catfishing her online. Now this one's raunchy. It's almost too much Haddish for Haddish, but it is Tiffany Haddish, so it does deliver on some laughs. The best laughs are delivered by Whoopi Goldberg throughout the entire joint. Whoopi Goldberg absolutely slays it. And it's a Tyler Perry movie for mostly a Tyler Perry fan base. Take that for how you like it, or however you don't like it. Is it one of his better efforts? I'd give it midway. Once again, another matinee worthy. So you got two matinee worthies. You got the Nutcracker and Nobody's Fool. You got a must-see, Bohemian Rhapsody. And I mentioned that we have one more movie left on the Real Rush ticket for this episode. Where will this one fall? This one is, once again, or I should say also, a highly anticipated movie. This one's a highly anticipated remake, however. Suspiria. The remake of the 1977 Dario Argento classic, bloody Italian horror classic of the same name. But this one, however, is directed by the man who directed last year's Call Me By Your Name, Luca Guadagnino. You would think that it would keep some of his visual style from that movie, you know, the brightness and whatnot. No. Nothing about this movie's bright. It keeps a little bit of his style, and I'm still trying to mold his style together myself, at least what I perceive to be. But it ain't nothing like Call Me By Your Name, y'all. If you're going and expecting that, I have so much mercy for your soul. But back to Suspiria. In this version, Dakota Johnson stars as the American dancer Susie Bannion, a la the original, who is attending a prestigious German ballet school in 1977 Berlin. And just like the original, this one is a front for a coven of witches. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the style, Argento's version versus Guadagnino's version. That's what everybody's had on their mind. Argento's was colorful. It's still not for the faint of heart. Don't get me wrong there. You know, it's not like colorful. Hey, let's go to Toys R Us and watch some Suspiria. You know, in the back section. No. It's colorful, but this movie it's bleak. It's damp, and it's very reminiscent of that kind of old school kind of horror. It's a horror that you have to pay attention to, and it's almost an hour longer than the original. But it's, aside from the basic plot origin, this one tells an almost entirely different story. It's an unconventional horror story, shot in almost the same manner, down to the camera zooms, and like I said, it's something you got to pay attention to. And like I also stated, it is not for the faint of heart, ladies and gents. Like the studio, I think, has been daring people not to vomit during this movie. I beat that challenge, but that's your warning right there. Between this and the original, aside from comparing it story-wise and the fact that, without the original we wouldn't have this one, I honestly can't pick a superior in between the two. They're both standalone, but that being said, it does help having seen the original to kind of get the gist of certain things, and that way you can make your own comparison. And if you'd like to comment on that below and have a discussion, especially on these kind of movies, I'm open for that, and you can go ahead and type those comments on down below the movie, wherever you're watching this, on Facebook, however, on YouTube, or however platform is playing against. Just like the original, Suspiria is not for everybody. It's a well done, acquired taste movie. Not everyone's gonna get it, but those who do will absolutely love it. Oh, and the Tom York score. Magnificent, and especially reminiscent of the times of that era. The krautrock, late 70s Germany. Also starring Tilda Swinton in 3 different roles, and Mia Goth and Chloe Grace Moretz. And you're going to have to forgive me about getting a little broken up over Suspiria, because thinking about it, it just made me kind of ill thinking about it all over again. especially after I just spent this whole weekend trying to forget about it. But like I said, that doesn't make that it mean that it's a bad movie. It's good. I dug it. I dig it. And it will be sitting someday next to my original Suspiria on Blu-ray in a couple months when that is released. Go see Suspiria, y'all. It's not for the faint of heart, but go see it if you think you can handle it. And that wraps up episode 6 of The Real Rush here on YouTube, ladies and gents. I'm off to cap off my 4-day weekend by finishing up watching WWE Crown Jewel. Like I said, I haven't finished it yet, so no spoilers, bitches. Even though by the time this is broadcast, I will have already watched that and be well on my way to watching this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. So, I suppose spoil away if you would like to. But, as for The Real Rush, next week we'll have for you, or we'll be slated to have for you, I don't want to promise too much of anything here, behind my They Live glasses, my prescription They Live glasses. The Girl in the Spider's Web, Overlord. Which one of those two am I going to make the Thursday night premiere edition? The Grinch, Burning, A Private War, and Boy Erased. But in the time being, ladies and gents, if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to go ahead and type those on here onto the YouTube page so I can read them and answer your questions as they come in. If I like them enough, or if I like one enough, or a couple of them enough, I may pick them, or one of them, or all of them, depending on how I'm feeling. Maybe present them, highlight them on a future video. But in the time being, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. That's at JDubChampion, hashtag The Real Rush. This way you can follow me for my movie check-ins as they occur. Please don't forget to subscribe right here on YouTube. And until next weekend, thanks for tuning in. Have fun, y'all. Love J-Dub. Enjoy yourselves at the movies. And we'll see you this weekend! Goes to show, like, y'all's attention span and shit. Damn near 20-minute video, and probably couldn't even wait until the original ending credits to go ahead and clip off. But much like the Marvel movies of these days, this one has an after credit sequence. And it's because if you were paying attention in the original portion of today's review of this episode, I said that I went to the theater 5 times. I went to 4 different theaters. 4 different theaters? But I saw 5 different movies. Because there was Wednesday night, 2 on Thursday, and then 2 on Friday. If anybody was keeping score of that. What did I see on Wednesday? Ooh! Because if anybody was paying attention from last week's episode, you would have known that Wednesday night was the final night of the Angelica Film Center and Cafes up in the Mosaic District, up in Fairfax, Virginia. It was the last night of their annual Hitchcocktoberfest. So for their main event, they were showing the 1960 Alfred Hitchcock classic, Psycho. So we're going to go ahead and add that, tack that on to the end of this video here. A little bit of bonus footage for the true fans that stayed. Thank you so much. Psycho, ladies and gents. Janet Leigh, who is Jamie Lee Curtis's mama. Jamie Lee Curtis's mama. Jamie Lee Curtis's mama. Jamie Lee Curtis's mama. Her name is Janet Leigh. She shows up in a woman who's stolen some money, about $40K from her employer. Ends up on the run at the Bates Motel, run by Norman, played by Anthony Perkins. And this man has more to his personality than his out-of-town, socially awkward demeanor and exterior, and his domineering mother from the house behind the Bates Motel, led on to B-Jack. There's some sinister shit going on, y'all. If you've seen it, you already know about it. Personally, this is my first time seeing it. I know. It's crazy. And it's an instant favorite classic horror all the way. I need to look for the special Blu-ray edition of this joint, Jack. Maybe it'll have one with all 4 of the movies in the series and the remake too. But most certainly for this one, top shelf psychological horror all the way, especially down to the whole voices in the head motif. I really dug that a lot. It's interesting to know that even though Alfred Hitchcock at the time was a very established and well-known and successful, not just horror film director, but thriller director and film director just all around, but Paramount would not finance this film, so Hitchcock shot this with his Alfred Hitchcock Presents crew at the time. So this was shot with his television studio crew, which is cool because it gives the movie like this Alfred Hitchcock Presents television type feel, but on the big screen and the widescreen of the time, that 1.66:1. Yeah, I know my aspect ratios, y'all. Yeah. Showcases a lot of firsts, or some of the firsts, I should say. The blood on the camera, the sexuality, the toilet flushing that had never been done on camera before. And it's just an absolute masterpiece. So if you haven't seen Psycho, please see Psycho. And you'll get a lot more movie references after you've seen Psycho, if you pay attention to movies like I do. So just come flooding back. Kind of like, Trinity, when she had to learn how to fly the helicopter and make it. And that's how it is. And that's Psycho. So, to all my Real Rush super fans, thank y'all for not only tuning in, but for wondering what the extra remaining minutes were at the end of this episode, and for staying after the credits. You never know what kind of crazy shit you're gonna find here. Is it gonna be some just regular old Marvel style post-credit stuff? Will it be another review? Might slip a classic review in there every once in a while. Because I've seen a shit ton more movies than I've done reviews for video-wise. So, yeah, Jack. Maybe you need to stay put in your seat a little bit further. So, thanks for sticking with me for my ranting and whatnot throughout this epic episode 6 here of The Real Rush here on YouTube. As I stated earlier, stay tuned to this weekend for episode 7. Hopefully I'm not waiting till Monday. But have fun, y'all. Love J-Dub. Your boy's gonna go finally smoke this black and mild that he's been holding here for the last half an hour. And we'll see you this weekend. Peace out!